Hi everyone, I'm back. So as I had mentioned in my previous story about being tested for diabetes and then at a young age and then finding out that I actually was a diabetic, being diagnosed with that in 2008, I want to continue the story of my journey of reversing diabetes. So as I had mentioned, the next day I was bound and determined to get this diabetes under control. Actually, not just under control, but to reverse it, because everyone had been telling me that you can't reverse diabetes. So the very next day, I stopped eating sugar and I started researching, doing tons of research on just alternative foods not to eat with diabetes. And this brought me to actually Dr. McCullough's site. And I started researching and finding different ways and things to eat, because it turned out that Dr. McCullough, when he was going in med school, he was showing signs of being insulin resistant and pre-diabetes, as his father was also diabetic. So it took him on that journey to help and support people to reverse their diabetes. So I found Dr. McCullough, and I also did some more research and started with Dr. Atkins, which is high-fat, high-protein diet. And I just started cooking with alternatives such as, especially baking, because for me, I just wanted to make sure that I had foods that would make me not feel deprived. So I started off with coconut flour, and the alternative sweetener that I was using then was, what was it? I think it was erythritol. So I would create lots of meals. Being that I have a German background, I would make food that was German, but eliminated all the starches and everything. So anyways, I started doing all that, and I also wanted to start testing my blood. So in order for me to test my blood with an A1C blood checker, and to be able to get this mechanism for free, I had to attend a diabetes workshop here where I live in Kelowna. So I went to this diabetic workshop, and it was very interesting. There was about 14 people that were there. I think out of the 14, 12 of us were two of us were overweight, and the rest were normal weight or actually very thin. And it was surprising because a lot of the people there just were surprised, actually, that they were diabetic, because they just assume that people with diabetes are overweight, which is quite the contrary. So I found this workshop actually to be quite useless. I was the only one there not taking medication. Anyways, I got my little card saying I went, and I attended this diabetic workshop, and then I was able to go to the drugstore and get my A1C blood tester, but I had to pay for the strips. So the strips ended up, they're actually quite expensive. They're a dollar per strip. So I was frantic, and I was checking my blood sugar 8 times a day. So do the math there, 8 times, a day for a month. It got pretty expensive. The interesting thing that happened, though, is with me eating a Dr. Atkins kind of diet and following Dr. McCullough's kind of way of dieting and eating, I actually ended up losing 20 pounds in the first month. And I actually didn't know this until the following month, because I just gauged, I was just more interested in getting my blood sugars under control. So the first 6 months, I actually ended up losing 45 pounds. And then I kind of hit a plateau. So then what I figured I would do is I also was really getting tired of eating meat. So I really wanted to follow a diet and a lifestyle that included some kind of philosophy behind it. And I actually have a friend who was practicing a macrobiotic diet. He had taken his wife to the Cushy Institute in Massachusetts. So I was very interested in this. So I followed through, and I actually ended up going and studying a macrobiotic diet and lifestyle, which was very intensive studies for 5 weeks in Massachusetts. It was an amazing experience. And I'll tell you more in another video what I actually did with that macrobiotic experience and certificate that I received. So then I came back, and I was at a plateau, and I was just feeling kind of blah and that. So I went back to the doctors, and my blood sugars weren't where he really wanted them. So he said, oh, do you want to, maybe go on some metformin? So I was also working as a carry aide and feeling pretty stressed again. So I figured, if this will help with, bringing my blood sugars down. And I did a bit of research on it, but just really not knowing and just trusting my doctor. So I actually went on metformin. And as soon as I went on metformin, I started getting stomach aches, and it was a big adjustment. All in all, I think I ended up staying on it for only, I think it was probably only 3 weeks, or 3 months, sorry, because I started hearing all these horror stories from people. I was going to the gym, and these ladies were telling me they were on metformin and went off of it because they had reoccurring bones breaking and ankles, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way. So I actually just went cold turkey. I stopped taking it. I didn't notify my doctor. I said, I'm not doing this. And then my stress leave actually turned out to be me quitting my job and leaving my job. And then I went on this kind of search. I've always been interested in health and alternative food, alternative healing, and that. So I was fortunate enough that I actually went, I was able to go to CSNN, Canadian School of Natural Nutrition here in Kelowna, and I was able to get my holistic nutrition certificate. So I'm actually a registered holistic nutritionist, and I've learned so much, and I've been able to incorporate a lot of what I've learned. And I've also, I've been able to incorporate a diet now that is low carb, and it's not a keto diet or anything, but it's low carb. And to date now, I have lost 65 pounds, and I'm showing no signs at all of being insulin resistant. I don't check my blood anymore because I found that was stressful in itself. I think I didn't realize back then, but environmental stresses play a huge part with diabetics and your insulin levels. And I think that was one of the big things. I was just so discouraged from checking my blood because I'd eat the exact same thing the day before and go for walks, and my blood sugar levels would be up. And now, in hindsight, now I know it was because environmental stresses, the stresses of actually just checking my blood alone created insulin spikes. So now it's been 10 years now since I was diagnosed with diabetes. I don't even associate myself with being a diabetic anymore. I don't tell people like I had before that I'm a diabetic because I'm not. That's not any part of me anymore. And it's an ongoing journey for me. I would still like to lose some more weight. But now I have realized that, I'm happy with where I'm at, but I just want to be healthier and fitter, especially because I'm going into my second 50s. Yes, I know. So yeah, that's where I am at now. And I'm doing this certain diet, I guess you call it yeah, because people associate it. So it's more of a lifestyle now. The way I'm eating is a lifestyle, and the diet that I'm on is a diet in a sense that it's helping me lose more weight. It's slow, but it's staying off, and the food's amazing, and I don't feel deprived, and I still get to eat my rich, creamy comfort food. So yeah, so I'm at a good spot right now. So, but I'm going to definitely be back again real soon, because I want to share with people some of the things I've been doing and eating, and different lifestyle changes I've been making, and some alternative ways I've been kind of approaching all this. So stay tuned, because I really want to share a lot of this with people again, because if it can resonate with one person, or one person can relate, and I can help them get over some kind of hurdle, or give them some hope, because you don't have, diabetes is not you. You don't have to have diabetes. And I've always had that strong feeling that I don't give up. So I'm bound and determined never to give up, and to be in the best, healthiest shape and healthiest me going into my second 50. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.